I've got two things I've been thinking a lot about recently. Recently, I mean today. Number one, charity. Number two, a kind of goal and fulfillment that I've started to see in my work. And I'm talking about my software development agency work. Now, in general, I will say this agency has made me money, but as an agency, you're paid to build what companies want. I don't think it's like some crazy, fulfilling, mission driven work, if I'm honest. But I think that's okay. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But in general, I do believe in finding stuff that is like really worthwhile to do and so forth. One thing I have gotten is a lot of people who run software development agencies or other kind of software developers who watch my stuff. That's kind of my primary audience. And I think the entire industry is feeling this pain, especially as young people, which is like, as juniors, what the fuck are we meant to do to make a living in this industry? Now, I don't post content on like how to get jobs and stuff, but fundamentally, I post content on how to make money as a software developer. So how to transition into a software agency, presumably so you can make money. And there is a widespread pain right now. And by the way, I see this because actually, as an agency owner, when I am hiring people, I don't hire juniors anymore. And this is for a few reasons, by the way. And so if you are a junior and you want to fix your kind of hireability, one of the main things is like, stop using AI. Show me that you can write the code by yourself first. The best programmers I know don't use AI for fun. So when they program stuff for fun, they're doing it because they love programming. And that's how you know, like, they're really, really technical. But that part aside, one of the core problems of the industry as well is like for the past 10 years, it was associated with being like an extremely high paying job. And you can still have very high paying software careers. But that has driven a huge influx of candidates into the space. And so you've got massive oversupply of like just loads of people in computer science, in programming, in all of this. And so it's not a differentiated skill set anymore. I'm so sorry, but finding a programmer is one of the easiest like people to find right now. You've got a massive oversupply. The demand for these jobs is shrinking because more people want seniors now. And that is because AI has replaced a lot of junior tasks. That is true. And so what the fuck is that solution? And I think a lot of people feel this pain very acutely. And so I have realized that I actually have a really great platform to try and help as many people as I can in a way that I think is actually quite meaningful, in a way that my agency has scaled and made me money. And I think like if I can create the same result for a lot of other engineers, that'd be really, really great for them. But I think there's a few things that I kind of want to double down on first, which is firstly, more reliable kind of lead gen. So that's always been a big bottleneck in my business. And I think basically in most software businesses, which is that we want to do software engineering in terms of like writing code and stuff. And this is what we wanted and what we set out to do. But it might be the case that we got to move into other areas and do different types of engineering, which might be more like using different automation tools and things like that. Because honestly, that is a lot of what technology is nowadays. It's using third-party tools. But as a developer, having more context about how to do things can be very, very useful. So this is a different discussion, but like I've started to feel some purpose in like really trying to figure this out because the better I can do this and the better I can figure this out, the more I can share and hopefully drive a very impactful change for a lot of people who are struggling with this, which is just a massive, massive audience. And like at the end of the day, you can still make money as a programmer, but I think you got to be really, really good. And the number of jobs doesn't allow everybody to build an incredible career there. And so what is the alternative, especially for remote people? So if you're in the US, I think this is a bit different, but if you're outside, how do we do this? I can't teach you how to get fulfillment. I can't teach you what your dream job is, but I can help you make money, especially as some kind of junior engineer. And I think I saw this video yesterday by some random guy. I don't know where he's from. He sounds Eastern European-ish or like kind of middle of Asia. He just said like, I'm doing some 3 months unpaid internship. I have no idea how to get a job. I speak to graduates. Like nobody gets a job. It's just so hard right now. What the hell am I meant to do? I'm living with my mom. I can't I don't want to be some like construction worker here in my country, but I want to get a job and I did this whole degree, but like I don't have any opportunities. And I think this sentiment is echoed around so many people. I want to help that problem. I cannot promise a perfect job or, life fulfillment, but I think that is a problem that I can understand, which is like, how do you make money as a junior engineer? How do you start that? Where can you provide value if it's not in programming jobs? So I want to double down on this as I think my content and kind of direction. I think this is something where like I can genuinely improve a lot of lives. Second thing is about charity. I don't know. I've always had this idea to like try and give back and so forth, but I haven't acted on it mainly because I think I don't have enough to do much, right? So my thinking is like use my current money to make more money so that eventually I can give more to charity and stuff like that. But I don't know, I was doing my budgeting and I realized like it's a very real possibility that like I can start doing a little bit, even if it's just like giving 10% or something like that of my income. I think this might be a very fulfilling thing if I can find like a worthwhile thing to fund with 10%. And it doesn't have to be something huge, but even just something like, oh, hey, I funded a kid's meal for a month. I think that's likely to drive a lot of like life fulfillment. So I might start doing that. I admittedly, though, I think right now I want to just save up a little bit more like emergency fund cash. Yeah. And I'd love to document this stuff as well. I'd really, really love to kind of put this all on camera as much as possible. Because I think it's very joyous and some of the most meaningful stuff that you can do, I think, is ultimately a charity work, among other things. But I think that's high up there in terms of like worthwhile things to spend money on. As far as like the happiness you can buy with money, I think a lot of it can come from charity. I think it's a pretty crazy the amount of happiness you can buy there. That just comes from I think fulfillment and helping people. Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave this video at that. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's a little bit of an update on some things that I'm thinking about. Feel free to leave any questions, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are.